Okay, that's fine. I thought it was my bag here because of Despacho. Okay, everyone. We may end up being a very small group. We'll see what happens. But I've literally been in ceremony since Saturday. So it's all good. And now we're here to do our work. And if it stays small, we'll make it more interactive. Like if everyone was here. And we went, so we'll give a couple more minutes. And so forgive me if I don't pronounce it right. Is it Stanislava? Yes. Okay. So I'll explain to you, and I think it's very interesting. It's literally, I think it was a year ago yesterday that we did our first online ceremony, because the shutdown happened just at the time of the equinox. I'm a lot more pounds than then, I noticed in the picture. And my hair's a little shorter, but I was tan because we just came back from Florida to see our daughter. We didn't know at the time, play for the last time in her college experience in softball. But so the Despacho is our way of coming into alignment and what we call reciprocity with this new state of being. I mean, so the equinox is about being in that equal place of the light and the dark. So about coming into balance with those aspects of ourselves. So what we do with the Despacho is we honor each of the equinox and the solstices by coming together and really helping ourselves getting to alignment energetically with working with that energy and that element. So in the spring, it's all about planting those new seeds. It's about making sure that we really have readied, if we looked at ourselves as a garden, have we really readied our soil? Like if our body was the soil, how much can we be in the most pristine state to plant these seeds so that there's no weeds in there? So the weeds are those old belief systems, those old thought forms, the old conditioning. How do we separate ourselves enough from that and really get as big most beautiful state that we can, so that we can plant those seeds and they really can grow. We really. I know. So we are, how do we sit there? Like we want to get rid of the negative self-talk, and I'm really feeling this. I mean, it's been coming through in the ceremonies, but it's really imperative for us to really come into balance within ourselves between the dark and the light. We're all going to have aspects of ourselves that may be perceived as dark, or that may be perceived as, we're all going to experience anger. We're all going to experience getting pissed off. We're all going to experience getting hurt. It's how do we live there is how it defines it. Like, how are we? How do we move with that? How do we just look at it and honor it? 'Cause it's a part of ourselves, If someone backs me in a corner, I probably not 5 out of 10 times I'm going to retaliate on some level. I'm just always hoping I'm doing it from the cleanest intention. So how do we sit here in this place of really coming into balance with those dark and light parts of ourselves, to honor both aspects of ourselves? And because if we sit there and try to negate the dark parts of ourselves, it's only going to rear its ugly head, right? So we got to honor that that is a part of us, that is an aspect of us. But is it the driving force? Is it what propels us and moves us forward? Is it our default? Like we want our default to be our light bodies. We want our default to be love. Honoring the fact that we're not always going to be in this floaty love and light, and that's unattainable in actuality. So how do we come into balance? How do we honor those parts of ourselves that lay in shadow, the light and the dark that lay in shadow? So how do we unearth all those pieces, and how do we really work tonight with this despacho to get ourselves in this place of ayni, in right relation, and be like, these are times that when we can use this energy almost like jet propelling us. It can catapult us into this big shift, this big change, this big movement, this great alignment. Okay, so just give me a minute because Spirit, my guides are talking to me. How did we get any other new people, Sean? I can't see, I'm not hosting.
No, no one else.
Okay. Okay, so it may just be us. If someone else comes on, just let me know. So now that it seems like I'm going to be doing more channeling tonight, this ceremony, I would like us to each, since we're small, just to be able to unmute yourself for a minute and just say your name, and so that Spirit can hear it, and we can, all create this energy that we're all sitting in this room together, so that Spirit hears who you are, and maybe a small intention or a thought or a feeling that's come up, even as I've started talking, or a feeling that's come up since we're already this energy, we're still in it, but it had already transpired. So where's it sitting with you? What are you feeling? I mean, are you in fear? And that's legit right now. Are you hopeful? Are you where are you at right now? So Spirit can hear and you can give a voice to it. So let's start with Lynn and Sean.
Sean, feeling just laughter and goofiness.
Good.
I don't know if anyone needs to see me, but so Lynn, I'm on a seesaw. I go from the laughter and the goofiness to I was hitting a block. I was hitting all those old, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. And then I realized that's the old stuff, like literally just 5 minutes ago, and then the laughter came in. So teetering.
Oh. Gail.
Ooh. It's hard for me to talk. I'm feeling I'm feeling like it's a time of transition, and I'm asking for the transition to be done with ease and grace, for all intended. And I'm really anticipating tonight's ceremony, just looking for that breath of fresh air, the beauty that I saw in the Despacho picture that you shared with us, the lightness and the color, and the beauty. So, oh.
Stanislava?
Hi, my name is Stanislava, and I'm feeling very out of balance, uh, uh, really tipped to the really heavy side. And I've been realizing that a lot of things that I thought that I addressed and dealt with are coming up, like, you know, belief systems like I'm incapable, I'm just like this hopelessness, and just a lot of heaviness, a lot of sadness, and things like that. And I feel they're just really pulling me way out of balance. And my intention is to come to balance and look at those, if well, we should call them darker sides, with more acceptance, and like stop fighting. My intention is to stop fighting, and I don't want to fight, but I ended up doing it because when they come, it's so difficult. So my intention is to return to balance.
Oh, thank you so much for your honesty.
Thank you.
Ash?
My name's Ashley. Feeling pretty raw and live wire-ish, so looking for some balance as well, some clarity, and grace.
Oh. No one else popped on, right? Sean?
Nope.
Okay. Wade?
My name is Wade, and I'm just working on getting my mind right with God. As much as I'm able to, from one moment to the next. Just approaching things like that.
Ooh. So for me, I'm exactly where everyone else has been, off and on constantly. I've spent a lot of time sitting in that place of hopelessness and old patterns coming out. But then, thank God, my spirit will come in and be like, you know, Candy, this is your ego. Like this is your fear, and it's just it's just another layer of it. So I understand how you feel. It's like you've worked on all these pieces, right? And now here they are again. And when I was would do ceremony live, I would always give everyone the reference of Shrek. So Shrek, when he's sitting there and Donkey asks him something and he's like, I'm like an onion. Like, so are we. So we peel back layers, right, of certain things. There is a way to get to the root of it. And we know when we get it, when we're no longer pushed, like when our button's no longer pushed when we're in that situation. But what happens is you're in a place where you're going to work, you're being gifted the ability to work it a little deeper so that you can get more to the source of what created it. And that's what we do in ceremony, is we're able to really, once we open up that sacred time, we're able to access it, any trauma, any hucha, any heaviness, any of those old thought patterns. We're being given this opportunity in this sacred time, in this place where it's timeless, that you can heal that piece from its root. And so that when I went through my training, what we were told is, every time one of those things happens, is you get an imprint, like an imprint in your field, in your spiritual body. And that imprint, as long as it's still open, that's how things come in. And that's why we'll have an affinity or the same partner, even though they're different, the same boss, even though we switch jobs, because there's still that affinity. There's still that opening. And so each time we peel back the onion, the opening gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And the goal is that we can end up getting it to the root, pluck it out like the weed, and there are no weeds, but pluck it out from its root so that you can then, it's no longer available. We're no longer available to that. So I don't know if you can relate that that's something that did used to happen to you years ago. If it happens now, you have no response, right? Does everyone at least have something like that? Like where you're like, oh, that before that used to piss me off, or that used to really get me angry, or that. So it's the same thing. We can do that with everything and anything, no matter how big we think it is. We have the same availability at all times. So, and that's what's great about ceremony tonight. When we work those pieces, when we put those pieces in that we're trying to release, and breathe in, breath in these beautiful gifts that you're waiting to, or that have already planted, but now you're going to really nurture and care and feed it with love, with light, with fire. You know, work it with fire, work it with water, work your own little water ceremonies with it, or little fire ceremonies every night. Okay, so Staslava, I'm being guided to share this with you. You can have a toothpick every night and a candle. Call on your guides, call on your protection, call on all those things. And every night, whatever is up, blow it into that toothpick or that skewer and release it. And so it is. And keep releasing it until it no longer stalks you. You know, so, we should do that with our seeds we plant tonight. To give fire to them, to give, whether that's like fire breath, like in yoga, or, you know, water, when we take in water, or when we're standing in the sun, see it as this light force, this light that is going to embody us and is going to feed our seeds. It's going to illuminate those places that sit in darkness in our mind. I had a session today with the Peruvian shaman that I worked with all weekend in a course, Lynn and I, and he was saying, when working before, and I didn't even say this, and the interpreter was like, so how are you sleep at night? And I said, well, I sleep okay if I go to sleep, you know, when I go to sleep. And I said, my challenge is that when it's dark out, that darkness creeps in, and that's when a lot of all this comes up for me. That's when I start to feel the fear. I start to feel vulnerable. I start to feel not safe when that darkness kicks in. And it's always been that way for me. You know, it's a depression thing. So when I'm surrounded by the light, it's easier for me to be uplifted or think more positive thoughts. But when I'm enveloped in the darkness at night, it can swallow me. It can really feel like I'm being, like an avalanche is coming in, and I have to like try to find something and grasp for it. So I feel like I'm falling down this pit, and it's like, okay, you know, and so, you know, I gotta try to remember that I'm light, that I'm love, that, you know, these aren't real. This isn't, and it's getting easier and easier to do that, but it still happens to me. Like, I'm not absolved. Like, just because I do ceremony and I've been on a path as long as I have, in no way, shape, or form means that I'm absolved. And think about it too. What Spirit wants me to share with everyone is realize those of us walking a conscious walk are also picking up the collective, and there's a lot going on collectively right now. So to also realize a lot of what we're feeling sometimes isn't our own, and we got our ancestral pieces. So Spirit's saying, but that doesn't mean to then feel like it's never going to change. Because when we heal, but we got to realize the only thing we can work on is us. And so when the outside world mirrors something that pulls us or knocks us off balance, you should thank you, teacher. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making me be aware of that which lives in me that I might not consciously be as clear about as I should be, or that it's as active as it is, because I thought it wasn't active anymore. So first off, if you can get into that place of gratitude for it, and be in that place of it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. It shifts the energy of you back into empowerment. So you go back to, oh, thank you, teacher. And then pray in gentleness, pray in ease, pray in, I want to get this lesson. And sometimes I was taught a long time ago, you know, there's certain lessons that we came here to learn and we can't get around them. Doesn't mean you have to accept the teacher that's informed with it. So if a teacher comes in and they're really pushing your buttons to the point that you really can't get beyond that person or that situation, but Spirit God has gifted it to you to be able to get the lesson so that you can be free from it. You can pray out that teacher as long as you are going to work on it. You know, so that's that part of not denying your darkness or your heaviness, where you say, okay, I understand that I have to get this. And so I don't know why I'm sharing this. So someone may be experiencing this. Maybe I need to remember this. Because it's teaching I was taught, God, when I was like 20 years ago. So when that person comes in, if it is too much for you, if it hits too personally that you really can't disconnect from it, you just need to pray out that teacher with the caveat to Spirit that I'm willing to learn this lesson, I just can't get it through them. And you will be surprised that as long as you have willingly, consciously realized that something's up that you need to work on, and you consciously say that I'm willing to do this piece, I just can't do it through this avenue or this person, please give it to me in a more gentle way. I'm awake now. Because what happens is we get things on smaller levels, but we push them away, we push them away, we push them away. Like that's where dis-ease comes from. You know, it may have started, you know, as a small stomach ache, and then it turns into an ulcer. It may start as a small seed, but through us ignoring it and trying to pretend it's not there, it grows and grows and grows. So same with our teachers. We probably had signs for a long time, and then the teachers got to get big enough that it stops you in your tracks. So if you're going to say to Spirit, God, I get it now. I get that this is something I have to learn. I am really going to have a challenge getting it through them. So please, I pray that you can send me a more gentle teacher. So, so know that that's available, because regardless of things that we've been trained to think, that, you know, for anyone that is part of a fundamental church, I've come to realize that God is not a punishing God. You know, so, but you're trained that. I was trained that, you know, I'm being punished. It's us that punishes us. You know, it's us through our lack of forgiveness of someone else, but especially ourselves. That puts us in that place of being punished, of feeling like we're being punished. I had a conversation with my daughter today about that. Is, you know, I was trained in this, and it's hard at first to get, because you got to assume responsibility. But, you know, suffering is optional. Pain's inevitable. We're in 3D form. We're always going to experience some type of pain. But that suffering piece, where we stay and we suffer and we suffer and we suffer. My first teacher used to give us a lesson of that there's a man that would go out for a walk every night, and this other man out front of his house, there would be a dog. He would be sitting with his dog, and his dog would be whimpering. And this person would say, "Why is your dog whimpering?" You go, "Because he's sitting on a nail." They go, "Well, why don't you tell him to get up?" And he goes, because it doesn't hurt enough. He's not ready. So we stay and sit on that nail and whimper, and we're suffering, but we'll stay there until it gets to the point where it's so uncomfortable that we finally get up. And that's when we break through the fear. That's when we break through the suffering piece. That's when we break through the pain, because and on the other side is generally ecstasy. it's the pain, that it's the suffering that had us so scared, that had us so in that hell, you know, in the hell is the suffering. So I don't know where any of this is coming from. So just here to share. I guess we all need to hear this. I need to. But these were all little titties and little ditties and gifts that I was given in teachings that helped me get past some of the most angry, most pain-filled experiences of my life, is by being able to be given this gift of these lessons. And it took me a really long time because I was very angry when I started this path, and I really just, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to take responsibility because to me it was all out there. And I'm not, and please hear me when I'm saying that, I am not excusing anyone for their behavior. That does not mean that you are a doormat. But it means that you have to understand there's a piece of you that either allowed that situation or there was that affinity, that opening within you. And so that's where this gift of ceremony is. How do we tonight work with those pieces that are up? Work with those pieces that have us teetering. Work up with those pieces that are really up right now to really be mulched, to really, so that we can become this beautiful opening, this beautiful oasis, this beautiful field that has this nurturing, fertile soil, so that we can plant these new pieces of ourselves. We can awaken parts of ourselves that are ready. They're ready. And it's funny, my door just made this noise, like someone was going to come in it. So this newness, this freshness can't come in unless we open up, unless we create a space. So tonight, let's work with our hucha. Let's work with the heaviness that's up, that we see outside of ourselves, we see within ourselves. If we're acknowledging it, it's ours. So let's bring it here tonight. Let's bring it into this beautiful despacho, this beautiful, it's like creating a living mandala, like a living prayer that we put seeds and candies, and I'll explain them all. But we create this living bundle that then gets released. Fire is best because it's the quickest transformation, but you can release in water, you can bury it in soil. That's a very slow. If you wanted to work something very slowly, you could bury it. We work mostly with things from the earth, and candies, and so since we are a small group, we'll do it a little more interactive. I'll do everyone's quiz with you. I will make a prayer right to you on the screen with your, and so not a quiz, a kintu. I got quiz on my brain from this weekend. So a kintu is 3 leaves. Now, if we were in Peru, there would be cocoa leaves, but since we're in the States, they are bay leaves. And the 3 represent, you know, our the 3 bodies. It represents the upper world, the middle world, the lower world. So when we're working with pieces, that we're working with them on all those levels. And, you know, the upper world being, you know, our destiny, or the upper world being where we can access, you know, the archangels, the angelic realm, the celestial beings. The Kaipacha, our middle world, is the world we live in. Like how do we bring these prayers and bring them into ayni with how we walk in the world today? How do we bring this healing, this work, this balance into this world, so that that's how we're moving and that's how we're walking? And then into the lower world. So how are we in the lower world, being that place, you know, actually where our power animals are, and the fairy and the devic realm, but it's also that our place of potentiality, that you know, it's all those unconscious thoughts and feelings and those unconscious challenges and unconscious gifts that we hold. Now, what is that beauty that's held in the underworld for us? You know, in every realm, there's planes. So just as there can be a hell in the lower world, there's also higher levels of it. Just as in our waking world, there's levels of hell, right, in this world. And then there's higher. So don't be afraid of the underworld. The underworld is also a pure potential. It's also all of our gifts. It's our power animals. There's beauty within the underworld also. So we work with all of them with this. And we have a red petal that represents Mother Earth and a white to represent Father Sky. So once again, that balance between the masculine and the feminine. How do we create that balance within ourselves? So each person gets one of these and it goes into the base. So since you won't be here with me, normally you would hold it and blow your prayers into it while I would start the despacho, and then we'd place them in. But what we'll do is I'll get it going. I'll create these as a base, but I will blow your personal one, put it in here, and then start making your prayers and blowing what you want to release and what you want to bring in into your Kintu, your personal one that will be at the base of the despacho, okay? So, you know, it's transcending time and space. So, but I will personally make a prayer to you, hold it to you. You'll close your eyes. You'll feel the blessing. You will feel me touch you with the Kintu. I'll touch your mind. I'll touch your heart, and I'll touch your belly. So may we work tonight from that place of right mind, right heart, and right action. So once we open up sacred space, I'll make a prayer with our paper, our base. Hold that intention, put down to open it, and then we'll do that. And then as I'm starting to get the other pieces together, you'll be praying and putting your intentions in. And I'd like to say that I was going to stand up and open directions, but my leg's completely asleep and I'm not going to follow my face. So I'm going to do it from the sitting position. So Slava, do you have any questions of what I said, or just go with your heart and soul and just go with it? Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So. So let us call in this sacred space, this place of sacred time, this place of being in that field of protection, that field of potentiality and possibility, that field of timelessness. Going to the south, the great serpent, such a moment. Look around your coil of light around us. Help us shed our past the way you shed your sin and one thing. Help us to stay out of that place of suffering and step into that place of beauty, of impeccability. Help us to lay with our fresh new underbelly with the mother, feeling her heartbeat, coming back into rhythm, coming back into ayni, coming back into right relation. Thank you for any and all healing that will occur on the physical level. Oh. Mother Jaguar, thank you for coming and protecting our medicine. Oh, thank you for teaching us how to go over that rainbow bridge, how to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for teaching us how to live fearlessly. And help us to remember how to be peaceful, luminous warriors so that we can learn how to walk on this planet yet not leave a footprint. And thank you for any and all healing that will occur on the emotional level. Oh. Thank you for this place of stillness and light. Thank you for this place of teaching us how to be the eye in the center of the storm. Thank you so much for this opportunity to take this epic journey. And for this opportunity to show us tonight where to drink directly from the sweet nectar of life and where to stop feeding that no longer serves us. Oh. Thank you for taking us in a balance that we only dare to dream of. Thank you for teaching us how to fly wingtip to wingtip with the great mystery. Thank you yet again for teaching us eagle vision. Help us to see tonight all the limitless possibilities available at all times, so that we once and for all step out of that place of being fated and step into that place of our destiny. Oh. Oh, Pachamama, great mother. Thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the cry, the fin, the fur, and the winged. Thank you for being the true alchemist and taking that which no longer serves and bringing it back to us in the gifts of gold. Thank you. Oh, thank you for this opportunity to be grounded. Thank you for this opportunity of teaching us this place of the divine feminine. Help us to awaken those aspects within ourselves so that we may be as divinely guided as you are. Oh. Inti Tai Tai, Mama Kia, Star Nations, Great Spirit, you are known by 1,000 names and you are unnameable. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts and minds and souls of everyone in this circle. And for anyone that will watch this after. Please whisper in our ear and touch our hearts. Please help us to know that which we need to let go of this evening. That which no longer is in service to us, but that once was, so we honor it and we thank it. We put it in with love and beauty into this despacho tonight to be put to rest, so that it no longer stalks us, it no longer feeds off of us, but it's given new life in this place of transmutation, of mulching. And I thank you for any awareness that you can share with us on what is our highest potentiality in this moment. And how do we make ourselves available? How do we show up? How do we bring in hope and love and joy and laughter and grace and ease into our lives? How do we ignite the light that lives within us and unearth it so that we shine it for all to see? Whoa. Okay, so change of plan. As I was doing that, I was guided by spirit. What I will do is I will have everyone's kinchus. I will do I'm going to do it like you were here. But what I will do is off to the side, they will be in line with everyone so that I know who's I'm picking up and when it's time to bless you with it once you've cleared. So Sean, you'll be first. Lynn. Stanislava. Ash. Gal. Wade. Just making sure no one else joined us.
Nope, no one else.
Okay, so you may start, as I start the beginning of the despacho, start doing your releasing and prayers. Your kintus are on the altar. Through your mind's eye, send your breath. I would physically use your breath, but see it coming and projecting and going right into your kintu. So we started off with a base of fake money. We use the money as a way of giving energy, paying forward that our prayers will be answered, of giving a reciprocity of energy, and to bring abundance into our life. The Spirit is saying to me right now is, just because you choose to live a spiritual life does not mean it has to be Spartan. But that all your needs are abundant, whether that's in time, money, clothing, love, laughter, clothes. Alrighty, Sean, we're gonna put yours in now. So I'll have you come forward. Humpway, 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 humpway. I'll be with my brother Sean. These here is prayers. Humpway, 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 hatun, 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 humpway. Humpway, 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 hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Hatun, humpway, 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 hatun, humpway. Lynn. Humpway, hatun, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. I'll be with my sister Lynn. Whisper in your ear and touch her heart. Humpway, hatun, humpway, hatun, humpway, 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 humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, 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 humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, 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 humpway. That's look. Humpway, 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 humpway. Be with my sister. Humpway, humpway, humpway. Be with my sister. That's look. Humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, 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 hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, 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 hatun, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, 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 humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway. Ashley. Hatun, humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, hatun. Be with my sister Ashley. Humpway, humpway, humpway. Touch her mind, touch her heart, touch her. Hatun, humpway, 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 hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Gail. Humpway, sister Gail. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Hatun, humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, hatun, hatun, humpway. Do you want to come here and I can do the poem? Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. Humpway, hatun, humpway, humpway, humpway. So our base layer is sugar, and the sugar was placed in there for the sweetness in life, to be able to bring sweetness to our prayers, into our lives, into our worlds, and into our being, into our bodies. The shell is placed in as the womb. It holds our prayers. It's the womb, it's the container for everything that we're releasing, everything that we're bringing in to be birthed. It's that place of the feminine, that place of the womb of creation. It sits at the base. In there is oil, it's lard, it's fuel to send our prayers, and we have the two warus, the feminine, the masculine, to create balance, and we just put in the flutes, the gold and the silver for the masculine and the feminine, but also the flutes are to symbolize how do we sing, how do we sing that beautiful song of life, that one we forgot. We sing the song of hardship. It's so easy to own the song of hardship rather than the song of joy and the song of laughter and the song of life. May we all remember that there's that song within us. There's a song that wants to sing us. There's a song of us that's waiting to be birthed, to be brought forward as our medicine, that we can bring our voice to. Going to put in, because we're at this time of the equinox, an egg, this chocolate egg that symbolizes us in utero right now. That place of potentiality, that place of renewal, of rebirth, of new beginnings, of pure potentiality that's untapped. Trying to see what's next. So first we'll put in these seeds as a form of protection, as a form of our power places, of may we find those power places that fill us up and nurture us, but more importantly, may we find that we are our own power place. How do we unearth and awaken that power place within us, that place of where we can source, where we can be renewed, where we can be reawakened, remembered. And these seeds are being placed in as a place of sustenance. How do we sustain our energy? How are we to sustain our prayers? By giving them this beautiful abundance from Mother Earth, these seeds, these places that can create so much within us, so much fuel, so much sustenance, so that we do not falter, that we know that we are held and we have all that we need, all the energy, all the fuel in order to see through these prayers that we're creating. And once again, I want to make a prayer about this, and And these are the nuts, and the nuts are the plant medicine. That medicine that's out there, that medicine that we take, that medicine that feeds us, that medicine that's given to us by the earth. And once again, I want to make a prayer that medicine that's being given out right now in the form of our vaccinations, that it all be transmuted and transformed into only what is in our highest good, that we only receive that which we need to in our bodies, that anything that's not of our highest good may not be taken in as medicine. And as I place these in, to know that you are medicine. We are medicine. We contain everything that we need to heal our bodies. We have just forgotten. We're just so bought into the commercials and the programming that we need outside sources to heal us. And sometimes we do need medicine because we've gone too far, like we talked in the beginning. We have let the little thing turn into a dis-ease that may need some of that Western medicine, that may need some of these plant medicines, but know within yourself, everything. You are a huge pharmacy. You are a huge surgical team. You are your own doctor. You have this potentiality within you. And maybe we put the rice in. The rice is that place of fertility. How do we fertilize these dreams? How do we fertilize our becoming? How do we make assistance and make them grow? How do we fertilize our thoughts so that our thoughts are in alignment with what we want to create? That's the biggest challenge, is that we think one thing but one another. We have to be very clear that our thoughts are fertilizer for our dreams, for our desires, for our soul's calling. So may, as I blow this in, may this rice be the fertilization that we need to create the thoughts, actions, deeds, and intentions behind that which we highly desire. And that which is in our highest good. And we use the alphabets noodles. And what that is it teaches us how to step outside of our language, which is so limited. So may we be able to see and witness that which is not being said. And may the language that we bring in internally, that language, once again, with that prayer about fertility, may the language, may the words, may it reflect and may it be in alignment with that which we are wishing to create. May our words reflect our highest desire and our soul's calling. And the animal crackers to represent those animal spirits, our animal guides, our forms of protection, our power animals. to honor them and thank them. And for those of us that eat animals, that we do it in a way that honors their soul, that honors their life force, that we thank them for what they have given and what they have sacrificed and what they've done since the beginning of time, through giving everything from food to clothing to housing to everything that the animal gave of its life so that we could survive. And once again, always to our four-leggeds, the four-leggeds that are in our lives that teach us that place of unconditional love. May we honor them. May we thank them. Maybe we give gratitude for the blessings that they bring into our lives, whether if they're still here physical or if they are in spirit form. May we honor them and bless them. And to the frogs, the envoys, the messengers, they're connected to the waters of the mother. Water that is life, and they're the envoys. They carry our messages to the great mystery, to spirit. The corn, which is the great medicine. And in Peru, they say we're children of the corn, children of the sun, but that our medicine is like that of corn. They'll say, may you grow great ears of corn. So may that wisdom that is us, that wisdom that is being awakened, may it nurture us, may it feed us. And prayers for that place of food, of nurturing, of everything that the mother provides for us so that we can live, so that we can thrive, so that we can survive. So many things we sit and we take for granted. But all those nutrients, all those blessings, all that deliciousness that she gives us, and that's along with the nuts, it's that place of what we're fed, what we're nurtured, what we take into our lives as food. And the raisins are, how do we honor our ancestors as we do this healing? May it reach out and touch all of our ancestors. Those ancestors that are connected to us, those ancestors that we carry a lineage, that we carry great medicine and great teachings from, but also sometimes karma, also sometimes a family curse or a family wounding. May we tonight be able to release them and ourselves from that trauma, from that place of wounding. No one needs it anymore. No one needs it. It's not in the highest good. It's not effective. This is the fig, and the fig, as we open it up, there's so many seeds in there. So it's the seeds of our becoming. It's the seeds that the ancestors, that this lineage held for us, that has for us. So this represents the lineage through which I am bringing this medicine forward. The lineage of the star ancestors, of the ancient ones, of the ancestors of the those highest realms. We'll place in these 4 cookies, and these 4 cookies are there to represent each direction. They represent the north, south, the east, and the west. All those amazing gifts and spirit helpers and that come with us: jaguar, serpent, hummingbird, eagle. There's a little bug in there. It's already growing life. We'll place the black licorice in that place of protection again. How do we protect ourselves? How that this despacho, that these prayers will be held and they will be protected. We will be protected as we do our work. Put in some sage and lavender and cedar as a prayer offering, and to ground this energy in. How do we ground it in so that it's not so esoteric? We don't want it to be just something fluffy and out there. You want to be able to bring in this medicine, bring in these gifts. We want to put in the baby marshmallows. These always represent to me hope. May, with this new place of spring, with this new place of becomings, may we be able to open ourselves up to hope. Not hopelessness, to hope. To be able to look with new eyes, to be able to look with new heart, to be able to look through that lens of our third eye, our spiritual eye. Put in this feather as a way to lift these prayers up to the Great Spirit, to Great Mystery. It'll give it wings, it'll give it flight, it'll help us. So what Spirit's saying is, how do we, and that's why it had to be a black feather tonight. How do we take that heavy hucha and that darkness and to turn it into something as light as a feather? So may we all breathe that in for a moment and sit with that. Feel that place of, as we release that hucha, that heaviness, that darkness, feel yourself becoming as light as a feather. Feel those wings of the Holy Spirit, or of eagle, condor. Clearing away your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body. And feel how you feel a little different right now. Feel how you are beginning to feel as light as a feather. And we put in this purple candle. And the purple candle is connecting in with that place of the violet flame. So let's take a moment to engage and light up that violet flame within us. That transmutes. That place is like Saint Germain. Feel that flame go in through the crown of your head. Come down to your third eye. Down to your throat. Down to your heart. Down to your solar plexus. Down to your navel and your sacral. And down to your root. And all the way down to your feet. Feel yourself being transformed by this violet flame. And paying honor and homage to the divine masculine. May we be able to bring his essence into our body. That masculine divine energy, that healed masculine. That place of divine action, divine fertilization. Cannot create without the masculine. The place of the divine feminine, that place of nurturing, that place of birth and renewal. Creation, a foundation, grounding, nurturing, a possibility. And feel within you, close your eyes and really feel that balancing. and the coming together of the masculine and the feminine, of the yin and the yang, of that place of right now in the equinox of the light and the dark. And feel how when they come together, they act as the perfect parents of the perfect viability of new life, of creation. And let us surround that with new beginnings of new life, that color of the rising sun, that the color of the new day, of vitality, of light. May we bring this in. May we awaken the light that lives within us. May we not deny it anymore or hide from it or feel unworthy. May we come back into balance with the light of who we are, with the creative force that lives within us, with our illuminated self. So really see those seeds that you've planted. Close your eyes and see them being fertilized by this light, by this dawn of a new day, by this place of awakening and honoring. This place of being fulfilled, ignited. And then let's layer that and feel us bring in beauty. How do we bring beauty to our dreams and into our life? Bring magic, abundance, grace, joy, awakening, gratitude. So may we surround this new place of our becoming with all these beautiful gifts that will be invoked and awakened and live within us. Knowing that we are worthy. We are worthy of so much. May we put some confetti with butterflies and flowers and that place of rebirth and renewal. Being guided to add another layer of sweetness. We add the stars. So may we connect to our star brothers and sisters. May we connect to that one star that is us, that is out there. May we be able to access all the information that they have for us, all the codes, all the light that they are ready to bestow on us, to share with us with great wisdom. We put that red fabric in to just represent and to honor that red road upon which we walk, that path of the mother. And the white to represent to the stars, to Inti. And maybe surrounded inside that rainbow, the rainbow bridge. May we know how to be in this world, but not of this world, how to walk over that bridge, how to know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience and that we have access to the other side, that we have the ability to reside in both worlds. Just a little bit more sage to ground in all this energy. And the cotton to represent the dream time. But the prayer tonight with the cotton is, may we learn to consciously dream our world into being. May we be able to dream with our eyes wide awake. I'll be right back. I'm going to go through the here. I didn't think we would need more chocolate, but we do. Pachamama said that egg's not enough. So chocolate is for Pachamama. And chocolate is in the form of stones, pebbles. So with divine grace and love, we send gratitude to Pachamama for all that she gives us. And then confetti. I mean, more glitter. Because may we be able to put this glitter in. May this glitter reflect and be able to shine a light on that beauty that is us. the beautiful gifts that is us, the perfection that is us. May this glitter be able to shine a light on those parts of us that are waiting to be highlighted, of those parts of us that are waiting to be illuminated. May we no longer deny those pieces of ourselves that are waiting to be brought forward, that are waiting to be illuminated. This is not the time anymore to hide. It's the time to shine. Oh. She's a beauty. I don't know if you can feel her. I hope you can. Wade, could you bring it up and bring the, I don't want to use to get dizzy, but he's going to bring the
whole
computer,
thing is just.
the whole computer over from it. And then tilt it. Can everyone see it now?
Is that good like that?
I believe so,
Looks like a really celebratory pizza.
yes. So can everyone see it? So take a moment to breathe it in before we put our hands on it. Just take a moment to really bring in and breathe in its beauty and its essence. And while Wade's doing that, I'm going to show you something. So for a moment, connect into it, connect into the potentiality, connect into who we are and what our potential is and what is being birthed at this time. And watch this little ditty.
Watch what.
Well, it's not working as easy as I thought.
Woohoo.
So inside of that egg was all these seeds, was these gifts that we just unearthed, that we've just opened up, that we have just accepted into our lives, that we have just brought in, of knowing that this is what we are capable of. Okay, thank you. So from where you are sitting, send out your hands and hold over and feel it. Sending your energy in, connecting in with this beautiful offering, with this beautiful gift to the mother and to the father. It's a beautiful place of coming into an alignment. It's all that is, all that was, all that ever shall be. Feel its yumminess. Feel its richness. Feel it in your heart, in your belly, in your mind. And what I can see for me is that as I have my hands out, any residual hucha is being pulled out of my hands into the despacho. So I ask that you give yourself permission to let any residual energy get pulled out into your cells, from your mind, from your joints, from your organs. This is an opportunity from Spirit, from God, to be able to let go of as much as you wish to at this moment. Whatever's in your highest good. We will close the despacho. And we put a final Kintu on top for anyone's, so for until between now and when it burns, any prayers that you may have forgotten, that will catch your prayers. And for anyone that watches this, either soon or no, there's no time or space, even if it's a year from now, that holds your prayer and you'll be able to release that. And so I will call each person to bring their intention of being in front of me. And I will clear you with the Despacho. So Sean, you're first. And Lynn. Slower. Ashley. Gail. I'll do us after. So just take a moment. To just feel how your body, your mind, and your spirit hopefully feel different than when you entered the circle. Pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your thoughts, and please be mindful of letting your thoughts, your intentions, and your actions reflect and be in alignment with that which you planted tonight, with that which you want to create. And do not beat yourself up if you can't do it constantly. Because it's about reprogramming our brain to create neuroplasticity, to create new neural pathways. So it will take a little time. Forgive yourself when it comes up. Be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up because that's what your ego wants, because then it has you again in its grip. It has you in battle with yourself. Say, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know that that still lives in me. I honor you. I thank you. But this is what I choose to think in this moment. Go back into choice. Go back into choice. Go back into choice. Take a moment to be in your head and allow the spirit of creation, the spirit of divinity, however and whatever color you want that to be, see that coming in through your crown. Shining a light on the seeds that have been planted in your head, the seeds that have been planted in your heart, and the seeds that have been planted in your belly. See them be illuminated by this beautiful light that you've been given. This is the color to feed your new seeds. This is the light vibration. This is the beauty and the magnificence of you. And then let's send that light out that has been given and awakened within us. Let us just shine that, just be that, and have that effect and go into the fabric of life, into that matrix of life. So anyone that's open to receive, that this may help awaken their light within them, their divinity within them, their wholeness and their grace within them. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world and to help awaken in anyone that wants to. But know that you have a choice to reside in this energy. You have a choice to bring this energy forward. And Spirit saying he hopes you choose it. So just stay in that place of transfiguring that light and being that light and seeing it, feeding those seeds and nurturing them and growing them and expanding them and clearing up any leftover hucha or heaviness, and knowing every morning and every night or even multiple times a day, you can work with this light, work with planting these planted seeds. And I'll pick a card to be the culmination of a message from the Spirit for us for this evening. It's not coming very easily, so give me a minute. Oh, it fell out. Yeah. So it is Sisterhood of the Rose. So Sister of the Rose is beauty, devotion, priestic, mystic, teacher. The Sister of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth. Like I always say, you cannot make this shit up. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You're being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth. You're being called to spend more time in nature, as all the ancient secrets live there. Mother Earth is constantly whispering. Spend some time admiring her creations, and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You are being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. I would add, and to the beauty within you. This could be through your own creations or in the little things like how you dress to picking flowers for your home. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more, and the shift in vibration can be felt. So I will add to that, how do we bring the beauty that is us up, unearth it, awaken it, live it, so that everywhere you go, you are affecting and creating beauty in all that you do, all that you say, all that you feel, all that you think. We were taught from our native teacher when we would go someplace, you always had to leave a place more beautiful than you found it. So how do we leave everywhere we go a little bit more beautiful than we found it? But especially within ourselves, when we wake up in the morning, how can we not only share that beauty that is us, but how can we expand it? How can we awaken it? How can we make it a little richer? So I hope this evening was good for you. And I'll close directions when we're done, because I'll have Wade and I clear ourselves so you guys don't have to be a part of that. But no, I won't. I'm going to close them now. Spirit said now. Go into the south, the Sachamama, great serpent. Thank you for wrapping your coil light around us. Thank you for helping us shed our past so we shed your skin of all clean skin. Help us to stay out of that place of suffering and step into that place of impeccability. And thank you for helping us heal any and all things on a physical level. Mother Jaguar, thank you for coming and checking our medicine. Thank you for teaching us how to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next, and how to go over that beautiful rainbow bridge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for teaching us how to be peaceful, luminous warriors, so that we can learn how to walk on this planet yet not leave a footprint. And thank you for any and all healing that has occurred on the emotional level. Oh. Thank you for this place of magic and its imagery and its stillness. Thank you for this place of teaching us how to be the eye in the center of the storm. And more importantly, continue to teach us how to drink directly from the sweet nectar of life, so that we no longer source from places that no longer feed us. Oh. To the east, ready go condor, Aquatine, you fly wing to wing with a great mystery. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking us to mountains that we only dare to dream of. Thank you for teaching us how to fly wingtip to wingtip with a great mystery. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Help us to continue to see the limitless possibilities, so that we once and for all step out of that place of being faded and step into that place of our destiny. Oh. Mama, great mother. Thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the cry, the thin, the fur, and the wing. Thank you for being that true alchemist and taking that which longer serves and bringing it back to us in the gifts of gold. And thank you for being that place of the divine feminine. Continue to teach us, continue to guide us. Thank you yet again for everything that you give us so that we can sustain life. I thank you for all the beauty that you give us, for that place of grounding and of nurturing. And help us to continue to create the beautiful womb that is you, so that we may nurture these seeds that we were given, so that we may fertilize them and grow great ears of corn. Oh. Inti Tai Tai, Mama Kia, Star Nation's Great Spirit, you are known by 1,000 names and you are unnameable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this place of beauty. Thank you for this place of being in service. Thank you for the hearts and minds and souls of everyone in this circle. Please continue to whisper in our ear and touch our hearts. Please continue to help us to work with this beauty way, to bring beauty into all that we do, to awaken the love and the beauty that lives within ourselves. I thank you for the countless blessings. Oh, there's so many. Help us to remember them. Help us to stay in that place of gratitude and of forgiveness and of ayni. I thank you for this opportunity yet again to be in service. I thank you for being your humble servant. And I thank you for all the ancestors that went before me and sacrificed their lives so that I may make this prayer. Oh.